Hello, everyone. Today we're going to go over the very first World Fairs. And this subject is really how I found the Mudflood theory. And yeah, sure, the physical mudflood is definitely something to think about. But then also the mental mudflood that has just been completely just poured over. And so I just want to see where the world fairs happened first, what they look like. Now that I'm kind of going through this history thing. And this was the first thing that blew my mind. I couldn't believe that this was in America. This is St. Louis. Oh, wait. No, this is Chicago. Yep, this one's Chicago. This is the same, but daytime. You see the big Greek structure there. And then I was even more amazed that St. Louis had one that looks exactly the same. So, how I heard about this was subscribing to a channel called Edge of Wonder. And they have another series with this guy, Benjamin Towles. And he has an episode called Clown World. And that's the first time I heard about this. It was actually episode 1. Season 1, episode 1. And it was the Mudflood. It just blew me away. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe, my eyes, really. I mean, yes, of course, I believe my eyes because of the photos. But he basically just touched a little bit on everything. It was a very quick segment, maybe not even 30 minutes. And that was enough to really get me going. He sparked it for sure. And this channel used to be on YouTube, Edge of Wonder. They're pretty funny guys. I have corroborated. Actually, you know what? The reason why I followed them is because I was doing a lot of this research already, and then they were covering it and confirming, not only confirming, but adding to what I had. And then, of course, it gets canceled, and it was due to their Las Vegas thing. That's all I want to say. So they struck a chord with that episode, and it got them banned. So that's how I knew they were onto something. Now, I didn't know that there were so many world fairs. I knew of them, of course, and then even after the whole mud flood thing, I saw images of the most popular towns. But it wasn't until I started doing research for Texas that I saw that Tennessee had a world fair. Then I was like, if Tennessee has it, we got to see where it started, because that is just crazy. Like, what's the reason for it? And it's really to show off everything new. This is the first one, and so I tried to find more info, but then it said that London was the first one. So it's the super early world fairs. It's very hard to get any kind of sketches. The camera wasn't around in the late 1700s, and so I it led me to London as first. I couldn't find any sketches, but I did find this cover of this book, and it says Reshaping the Earth, 1815 or 1758. Let's see what it says. Yeah, 1756 to 1815. Those are pretty interesting years. Now, as far as the London one, I couldn't find any sketches. This is the oldest thing I could find for a fair in London, which is, of course, the Crystal Palace. Then that Prague one, this is the very first photo I could find of a Prague World Fair. Just look how elegant that is. That looks absolutely stunning. That's just amazing. Now, here is an interesting thing. I saw these balloons. That could be where we get all those aerial photos. But this was the first images of a World Fair in Paris. I decided to go deeper into Paris because there were so many. That's like Paris just had to show off. So I really wanted to look at Paris and the World Fairs, look at how many they have, and see what's so special about it. So, I mean, definitely Industrial Revolution type stuff, like where a lot of the industry machinery really came maybe from there. But I mean, look at that. That's definitely the Statue of Liberty lady. Whoever, some people say that that's the goddess of fertility or whoever, but that is 100% the goddess that's in the Statue of Liberty here in America. 1878. Look at this building here. It's just crazy. That's all also made out of glass in the 1800s. I mean, 1935 is hard enough, but oh yeah, 1700s is 1850 is bad enough, but 1700s, late 17, it's just things don't add up. Look at all this machinery here, minus the glass. It's just it's maybe what we were supposed to do is, like people like Nikola Tesla, like they, it was just smartest ones figured out how to use this stuff. That might be what these things were, and say, hey, let's show you what we found, and here's the guy who can make it work. That could be it. I mean, I'd like to debunk all of this and say that, yeah, we built this, America, or actually in this case, France. You see how confusing it is? Because there's these same buildings in America. So this is like that building for Napoleon, the Parliament, I guess. And it's just crazy. Look at this, even the cement pillars, or whatever, even the in the front. It's like modern day stuff. Minus every single sculpture that's on top of the building. Look at all those people, like on top of the building that are stone statues. And look at these jokers here. It's like they have nothing else to do. They don't even know what to do with this thing. It looks kind of leaning. But then all these jokers are just here and hanging, doing acrobats off of it or around it. They don't know what it's for. I see some crane, machinery here. But do you think that could build the thing next to it? It seems pretty rudimentary to be so perfect. And that's just the outside. The inside, just forget about it. Gold inlay stuff. Yeah, maybe they had the artists come in and paint the things, and the designers to come hang some drapes. And then just look at the terraforming. This is a 1700s painting, maybe even a late 1600s painting. And they're terraforming. So all this stuff was around. This looks more new, right? Like all the older photos in like the 1800s, it looks all dirty. Even that's a 1700s photo. The one in the 1600s actually looked a lot cleaner. I'm starting to think that these things were, well, we got maybe 1,000 years added to us, for 400 to 1,000 years added. So there goes that. So maybe this was built, in the 1500s. Maybe these were built. Mm-hmm. It's just like the older the painting is, the newer they look. This one's like 1700 something. That's Notre Dame. Actually, that's 1680 something. That's Notre Dame. 1600s, that stuff was there. And then this is just what we found. Look, it's all dirty. There's like shrubs growing all over it. Broken columns they've been sitting there forever. So we're going to get into all the world fairs. I think another London, and then the New York one is coming up for part 2. But I just wanted to show you this quick find. Kind of show you where it all began. And look at these old paintings and old drawings of one of the oldest towns, I guess, right? One of the oldest towns that we can see now. That kept most of the stuff, I guess. So, see you later. Appreciate it. Peace.